Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I'm super excited about today's video. I'm going to tell you about Walt and Whitney's birth story. But first, let me tell you about how I found out about Walt and Whitney and that I was having twins. It's kind of a crazy story, but Alex totaled his car. Then he was test driving a car and he wrecked that car. So we were down to my car. A week later, I was rear-ended really badly to the point that hurt my neck and I needed to go to the hospital. I had just found out a week prior that I was pregnant. So I told the doctor while I was at the ER, hey, just to let you know, I'm pregnant. And so they wanted to go ahead and do a sonogram just to make sure, everything was okay. And, it takes forever in the ER. So at that point, it was late. It was like 9 p.m. Alex had gone to run an errand. And when he was gone, the doctor came back in and she said, okay, well, everything's okay. It looks good. Baby's okay. But we did notice that there are 2 sacs. What? Well, we think you're having twins. What? It's a joke? And I was just in shock. And she was like, yeah, it looks like it. I'm like, wait, am I having twins or do you think I'm having twins? Like, can you give me a definite answer here? And then I was like, well, can I see a picture of what you're seeing? She's like, okay, well, yeah, I'll go back and try to get that for you. So in the meantime, I'm in complete shock. Alex is gone. He comes back in. And then I tell him, watch this video.
Well, we're gonna need a double stroller.
What?
We're having twins.
No.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesse, please.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm waiting for the picture because they said they saw 2 babies.
No.
I'm not kidding.
Oh my god. Are you serious, Jesse?
Yes. I'm 100% serious.
You're messing with me.
I'm not.
You're full.
So she comes back with the pictures, and sure enough, there are 2 little sacs. We're having twins. So we bought a minivan because we needed a car that fit 3 car seats and that we could afford. So womp womp came minivan mom. All right, so moving on into the pregnancy. I had a really great twin pregnancy. I didn't have much nausea, which I didn't have with Turner, so I was really lucky in that regard. I found out at 20 weeks that I was having a boy and a girl. I was so excited to have a girl because I knew this was it. We were not having any more kids. Alex wanted 2 kids. I wanted 3, so worked out perfectly. Also, we were not on any medication or fertility drugs. It was just kind of like, we don't have twins in our family, so it was really a big surprise that we were having twins because no one I know in my family has twins. I am about 36 weeks at this point. I go to the doctor and she's gonna do an internal check, which I've never had before. And prior to that, I exercised up until 30 weeks. I was lifting weights and doing body pump. And then I was walking a lot. And then towards the, maybe 32 weeks, it really started to be a lot of intense pressure. So I had to kind of stop exercising as much. And then I had, the usual weight gain. But I just let myself go in the regards that I'm creating twins inside me. It's okay. You're going to gain weight. We'll get through it. You'll get back in shape another day. Don't worry about it. So didn't even worry about the weight gain. So went in 36 weeks. She checked me. She said I was 4 centimeters dilated and 95% effaced. So she was like, any day now. And I was going to have a hospital birth in the OR because with twins, you just run that chance. So you might need a C-section or something might go wrong. So you deliver you have to deliver in the hospital. And with Turner, I had him naturally by choice. And after he was born, I told the midwife, I am never doing this again. I am never having a natural birth. So with the twins, I immediately knew, I'm getting an epidural. I want the drugs. There's no doubt about it. So that's in my mind also. I leave that appointment with my doctor and I immediately start having contractions. I start having that pelvic pain, lower back pain. And I was like, oh, I think she just jump started my labor. And then I like Googled it, and it was like, sure enough, you know, if you get internally checked, sometimes it will jumpstart for you. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I wanted to keep my mind busy. So I asked Alex, like, let's just go do some stuff. So we went to Dairy Queen, had ice cream, and then we went to Lowe's and walked around and got some stuff for the, you know, house projects, and just wanted to keep my mind busy. And then we went back to the house. I read Turner a story. I took a bath. And also, baths to me are a sign of labor. Like, my body naturally is just like, get in the bathtub. It's time to have children. I don't know why, but that's a sign for me. Then the contractions really died down. So I was like, oh, well, maybe it's not happening tonight. So I went to bed. And then around 1 a.m., I had a really big contraction. Like, it woke me up. And I got up and I went to the bathroom, and then I was in the living room in our bedroom talking to Alex and standing just on the carpet there, and I looked at him. I was like, is this it? You know, I'm not sure. And then my water broke. And I knew my water never broke with Turner, but I just felt that like there was water coming out of me, like a lot. And so I was like, I think my water just broke. Oh my gosh. And so it's like, this is it. And I immediately texted my mom and my sister, like, water broke, getting bags ready, babies are coming, going to the hospital. And I didn't have my bags packed. I don't know why. I was having twins and I was 36 weeks and I didn't have anything packed. So I was just like throwing things in the bag and just like taking my time. I'm like, what was I thinking? 45 minutes later, we leave the house. So we have a neighbor come over to watch Turner. We like stopped at the gas station along the way. You know, we're just like, you know, moseying along. All the while, I am starting to experience like really intense contractions. And I'm like, wow, these are coming on really strong. I get to the hospital. Alex drops me off at the front door. It's like 2:15 a.m. when we show up. And he goes and parks. And I'm just like hobbling to like the front door. And like none of the doors were open. Like they're all locked. Like, how am I supposed to get into this place? And then finally, I go to the reception inside. I'm like, where's the doctor? Where's the delivery? I had never even been up there. I go up. I walk to the front desk, and then they're like, what's your name? I'm like, you know that feeling. And just experiencing super intense contraction. I'm like, okay, my name's Jessie Coulter. And then they're like, okay, well, let's take you to this little room. So they took me to this waiting room. And the nurse is talking to me, and I'm like, well, I just want to tell you I'm having twins. They're head down. I'm 4 centimeters dilated, 95% effaced. Today, I went to the doctor, and she was like, okay, moving you to the next room. So she, like, immediately took me to this delivery room, which was not an OR, but just for regular delivery. And as we're walking in, I said, I want an epidural. Like, right now, I'm ready. I want the drugs. And she was like, okay, well, we've got to check you first. So put on this robe. I put on the robe. And I just laid down on the bed, like I grabbed onto like the oh crap handle, like, trying to like get through the contractions. And then she checked me and she was like, oh, we're not going to be able to do epidural. They're right there. And I was like, oh my God. I was so out of it. I couldn't even like complain. I was just like, whatever, let's do this. And I had my eyes closed. She was like, there's going to be a lot of nurses. And there's just going to be a lot of people coming in here really fast. And so I guess just a ton of people came in. I don't know. I had my eyes closed. A doctor came in. I didn't even know who it was. And then as they're coming in, all of a sudden I experience the most intense pain in my butt. Like, I'm like, oh my God, my butt. Oh, it's going to come out of my butt. Later Alex was like, the nurses were like laughing, but silently, because they were just like, oh my gosh, what is happening to this lady? She's freaking out. And Walt's head was just like, oh my gosh, the pressure was so strong right there. And so anyway, it was so intense. And I was like, I gotta push right now. And in the meantime, like, I had the robe on, but I had nothing around my stomach. Like, they weren't tracking anything. They didn't have time to put the IV in. Like, I had nothing on. And I was like, I gotta push. And so I pushed 2 or 3 strong contractions, and he was born. And they laid him on my stomach, and they were like, oh, and I was just like, oh my gosh, my butt doesn't hurt anymore. This is great. And they were like, look at him. And I'm like, oh, yes, okay. Like, give me a break. Like, I got to do this again. Like, I need a minute to relax. And I just, like, was like, oh, no, I got to do this again. And then I had maybe a minute or two of you know, nothing. And then all of a sudden, the contractions started back up again. And thankfully, there was no pressure on my bottom this time. And again, pushed through 2 or 3 contractions, and Whitney was born 12 minutes later. So that was the best feeling, to know, like, I'm done. I looked over at Alex and I was like, can you believe that I just delivered twins naturally? Like, I need a trophy. I need you to go get me a trophy right now. I'm going to put it in my house because I can't believe I just did that. And also, like, when right after Walt was born, I, like, looked up and there was, like, a phone in my face. And it was my sister's face, and Alex had FaceTimed her, and I'm just like, what? Get the phone out of my face, Alex! Like, ah! So my sister was, like, super upset because when do you get to see a twin birth? They were literally driving up and totally missed it. Nobody thought it was going to be that quick. Walt was 5 pounds 1 ounce, and Whitney was 5 pounds 6 ounces. And they were super healthy. They didn't have to go to the NICU at all, thank goodness. We stayed in the hospital for about 2 days. And then went home. And ever since then, life has been crazy. I would say it's been a very intense and stressful year. Lots of love and joy, but lots of tears. Lots of like, oh my God, how am I going to survive today? I haven't slept. I don't know what to do. And having a toddler was also really hard. Turner was 3 and he turned 4 within this year. So, you know, it was just a lot with him. It was a crazy whirlwind birth, but it happened really quickly and it's over. I never have to do it again. Thanks for joining me, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe below. I talk about motherhood, parenting, fashion, home decor, travel, kind of just all across the board lifestyle. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.